Hello, good morning, my dear students. I welcomes you, each and every student, for third BCom fifth semester to the Golden Glimpse College family. My dear students, I'm very happy to share with the online video regarding to the advanced accounting under which accounts for banking companies, my dears. My dear students, under fifth semester we have 7 subjects, out of which the elective paper one, that is advanced accounting, my dears. Advanced accounting elective paper number 2 GST, my dears. So under which I can handle advanced accounting subject. Under that, the first unit is accounts for banking companies. My dear students, I think you have one doubt when the colleges are open. My dear students, still we are also waiting. Still we are also here waiting to the permission from our Bangalore North University. As per the guidelines of central government and UGC and Bangalore North University, we are ready to start the colleges and still we are waiting for the permission from Bangalore North University, my dears. So until we are continuing the online classes, my dear students, one or two classes online videos I will send you. After that, 100% I will taking online classes, my dears. My subject is advanced accounting, under which first unit is accounts for banking companies, my dears. Accounts for banking companies. Once again, I welcomes you for final year BCom fifth semester to the Golden Glimpse first grade college family on behalf of all the lecturers, all the parents, and all your juniors, all your juniors. Thank you very much. Now I'm start the first unit, my dears. First unit. I hope that display is clear. Display is clear. Display is clear, my dears. Right. Display is clear. Subject advanced accounting. Chapter number 1. Accounts for banking companies, my dears. Accounts for banking companies. My dears, under that first one is meaning. Meaning of bank, my dears. Meaning of bank. Under that first, my dears, here there is a clear meaning and easy meaning, my dears. Bank is financial institution which accept the deposits from the public and lending loans to the public, my dears. Lending loans to the public. It's clear. Bank is a financial institution which accept the deposits from the public and lending loans to the public only. Such institution we are treated as bank. Bank is a financial institution established with the intention of receiving deposits from the public only, and same the deposits they are lending as a loans to the public for earning some interest, my dears. So the bank also treated as a financial intermediary, a financial intermediary, a financial middle person. Next, my dears, next. So that actual topic is banking company. Banking company refers to any company which operates the banking transaction in India. Very, very clear, my dears. Very, very clear. Any company which operates banking transactions in India. Banking transaction in India. So that's why in India, which company operates the banking transaction is nothing but accepting the deposits and lending the loans. Such a company we are treated as banking company. The company which functioning the activities of bank, such as accept such as accept deposits from the public and lending loans to the public. Accepting the deposits from the public and lending loans to the public. Such a company we are treated as banking company. My dear, such a company we are treated as banking company. Banking company refers to any company which operates the banking transactions in India, the company which functioning the activities of bank, such as accept the deposits from the public and lending loans to the public only. My dears, simply bank is nothing but accepting deposits from the public and lending loans to public only. So banking company is nothing but banking company is a company which operates the banking transaction in India, that is accepting deposits from the public and lending loans to public only. ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರಿಂದ ಠೇವಣಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಿ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರಿಗೆ ಸಾಲ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡತಕ್ಕಂತ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರೆಯಬಹುದು. ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರಿಂದ ಠೇವಣಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಿ ಸಾರ್ವಜನಿಕರಿಗೆ ಸಾಲ ಸೌಲಭ್ಯಗಳನ್ನು ನೀಡತಕ್ಕಂತ ಯಾವುದೇ ಹಣಕಾಸು ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕರೆಯಬಹುದು. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಇಸ್ ಅ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ಸ್. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು. Next one is definition, my dears. Next one is definition of banking company. Definition of banking company according to Banking Regulation Act of 1949, Section 5, subsection C, my dears. Section 5, subsection C. Subsection C. So what is the banking company, my dears? What is the banking company? It's a clear definition. Wait a minute, my dears. Here there is a clear definition. Banking company means any company which transacts the business of banking in India. The business of banking in India. Simple definition, my dears. Very simple definition. According to Banking Regulation Act of 1949, Section 5, subsection C, banking company means any company which transacts the business of banking in India. The business of banking in India. ಭಾರತದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸತಕ್ಕಂತ ಯಾವುದೇ ಕಂಪನಿಯನ್ನ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1949 ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 5 ಸಬ್ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಎ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ದೆನ್ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 5 ಸಬ್ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ, ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 5 ಸಬ್ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಿ, ಬಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅದು ಸಿ, ಇದು ಬಿ. ಬಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ wait a minute, my dears. B, banking company means accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise of lending or investment and withdrawal by check, drafts, order or otherwise. Banking company means accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise of lending or investment and withdrawal by through the check, draft, order or otherwise by other conditions. That is called banking company according to the section 5B. Of course section 5C easy ಇದೆ my dears. ಇದನ್ನ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ನಾನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೈನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ my dears, because of you know that definition according to Banking Regulation Act of 1949 section 5 subsection B. So we can't explain because it's a definition. After that, so meaning and definition is over. Next point is bank accounts or bank books are books maintained by banking companies. Books maintained by banking companies, my dears. Which are the books maintained by banking company? Under that, first one, principal ledgers, important ledgers. Second one is subsidiary ledgers, other means of secondary ledgers. Third one is other registers and memorandum book. Other register and memorandum book. Majorly the banking companies, they can maintain three types of books. That is, first one, principal ledgers. Second one, subsidiary ledgers. Third one is other registers and memorandum book. Other registers and memorandum book, my dears. Under that first one, principal ledger. Under that first one, principal ledgers. So what is meant by principal ledgers? Means very important ledgers. Under that first one, my dears, cash book. Principal ledger, under that first one is cash book. Cash book. My dears, screen clear ಇದೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. Cash book already ನಿಮಗೆ meaning ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ. It is a book for cash transactions. It provides, my dears, it provides summary of cash collections and payment of cash. Means simple, my dears. Cash book is a book, it is a subsidiary book prepared to record cash transactions only, such as cash receipts and cash payments. Such as cash receipts and cash payments. Means it is a book for cash transactions only. It provides summary of collections and payments of cash. Collect ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ cash, payment ಎಷ್ಟಾಗಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾತ್ರ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋ ಬುಕ್ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನೀಸ್. ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಒನ್ is general ledgers. General ledgers, sorry. General ledgers means, nodi my dears, it provides expenses and assets not covered under subsidiary books also contain the control of accounts of subsidiary books. My dears, means, my dears, principal ledgers are two. One is cash book, second one is general ledgers. So cash book, it is a book prepared to record cash transaction, that is cash receipts and cash payments. General ledgers are the ledgers which are prepared to record expenses and assets which are not covered under subsidiary books. Actually, we know that subsidiary books, my dears, like purchase book, sales book, purchase returns, sales returns, cash book, bills receivable book, bills payable book, etc. So which are the assets, which are the expenses we are not considered while preparing the subsidiary books, my dears. While preparing the subsidiary books, such transactions we are recorded in general ledger. My dears. Next, that is first category, principal ledgers. Second one is subsidiary ledgers, my dears. Subsidiary ledgers. Under that subsidiary ledgers, we have first one is current account ledger. Second one is savings account ledger. Third one is fixed account ledger, my dears. Already idರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರೋರ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರೋರ್ಗೆಲ್ಲ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ ಇರೋರ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್, ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿಯರಿ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ledgers. Then investment ledger, my dears. Investment ledger. Then loan ledger. Then cash credit ledger. My dears. Then customer acceptance endorsement guarantee ledger, my dears. Guarantee ledger. They are the ledgers maintained by the banking companies. That's it. Then recurring deposits ledgers. Then bills discounted and purchased ledger. Then receiving and paying cashier counter cash book. These are the subsidiary ledgers maintained by the banking company. That is first one, current account ledger. Second means of it is a ledger prepared to record details of current account holders. Savings ledger account, it is a ledger prepared to record savings account holders. Fixed account ledger, it is a ledger prepared to record the details of fixed account holders. Investment ledger, it is a ledger prepared to record all the investments invest by the bank. Loan ledger, it is a particular ledger prepared to record the details of loan. Cash credit ledger, it is a ledger prepared to record cash credit facilities given by the bank to the customers. Then customer acceptances, endorsement, guarantee ledger. Then Recurring deposits ledger. Recurring deposits are the deposits which are not fixed, neither fixed or nor saving, my dears. Then bills discounted and purchased ledger. Then 10th one is receiving and paying cashier counter cash book ledger, my dears. These are the subsidiary ledgers. First one, principal ledgers. Two, cash book and general ledgers. Subsidiary ledgers are 10, my dears. 10. After that, other registers and memorandum book. Other registers. Bills collection register, share security register, jewelry register, demand draft register, standing order register, safe custody register, dishonored register, letter of credit registers, and locker registers. In explain in beda, my dears. These are the registers maintained by the bank. That's it. There is no question arise for what is meant by bills collection register. It is a register prepared to record the collection of bills, my dears. That's it. Share security is nothing but it is a register maintained to record the details of shares which are given as a security. Jewelry register, it is a register prepared to record the details of which are the jewelry is accepted by the bank from the customers. Demand draft register, current account holders. Order register, any order from the standing customers, that register. Safe custody register, safe custody register. So it is a register maintained to maintain the prepare to record the safety measures. Dishonored cancellation register. What are the checks dishonored? Such register. Letter of credit register. So what are the credit process? We are recorded in the letter of credit. Locker register. So customer lockers ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ register ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ register ಆಗಿದೆ. So they are the books maintained by the banking company. Then, my dears, special features of bank accounting. Special features of bank accounting. Bank accounting. What are the special characteristics of bank accounting? So what are the special features of bank accounting? First one is, my dears, very important. 2 marks. First one is banking companies have to the books required under double entry system. Each and every banking companies prepare the books of accounts under double entry system only. Each and every banking company in India, according to the Banking Regulation Act of 1949, each and every banking company should be prepare the books of accounts under double entry system. First point, that is the future. Second one, it has to maintain all the books required under the provision of Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Of course, correct alwa. Each and every book should be maintained as per the guidelines, as per the requirement, as per the conditions of Banking Regulation, Indian Banking Regulation Act of 1949. ಒಂದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಡಬಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಬುಕ್ಸ್. ಎರಡನೇದು ಯಾವುದೇ ಬುಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ದ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1949 ಪ್ರಕಾರನೇ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಮೂರನೇದು, ದ ಪೋಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಆಫ್ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಲೆಡ್ಜರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಸ್ಲಿಪ್ಸ್. So when we are posting the journal entries into the ledgers, or when we are posting the entries into the ledgers on the base of debit and credit slips. Debit ಆಗಿರೋದೆಷ್ಟು, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗಿರೋದೆಷ್ಟು. ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಡೆಬಿಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಗೆ, ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಕ್ರೆಡಿಟ್ ಕಾಲಮ್ಗೆ ತಗೋಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಒನ್. Fourth one, self banking system of ledger is followed in accounting by banking company. So banking companies, there is an option to maintaining self banking system. ಅವ್ರದೇ ಆದಂತ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. My dears, there are 4 banking special features, my dears. Special features, that is first one, banking companies have to the books required under double entry system only. Then it has to maintain all the books required under the provision of Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Third one, the posting of transactions in the ledger will be based on debit and credit slips. Fourth one, self-banking system of ledger is followed in accounting by banking company. These are the special characteristics or special features of bank accounting. Then next topic, my dears, next topic, some important provisions of the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. some important points or provisions, some important provisions of the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. 1949. Under that, first one is share capital. Share capital. In share capital provision, no, the banking company can issue only equity shares. Very important, my dears. The banking company can only issue equity shares only. First point. Second point, the subscribed capital must be at least 1.5 of authorized capital, and paid up capital must be 1.5 of subscribed capital. First one, each and every banking company have the right to issue only equity shares. Second one is subscribed capital. It is a part of authorized capital. Subscribed capital minimum at least 1.5 of authorized capital irbeku. Then paid up capital also at least minimum 1.5 of subscribed capital. 1.5 of subscribed capital, my dear. Subscribed capital. That is second point. Third point, the total paid up capital and reserves must be at least amount specified in section 2. Section 2. So Banking Regulation Act section 2 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್, ಟೋಟಲ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1949 ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 2ರಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟಿರಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್, private banks registered as public limited companies under the Companies Act of 1956 must have a minimum paid up capital of rupees 100 crores. 100 crores. So in case of private banks which are registered under the Companies Act of 1956, under the Companies Act of 1956, they should have minimum paid up capital of 100 crores. Private banks are 100 crores paid up capital irlebeku, and they should be registered according to the Companies Act of 1956. Then the capital accuracy ratio, AR, capital accuracy ratio of all the banks operating in India must be 8%. It should be 10% by 2002 to the assets of the bank. So 8% ಇರಬೇಕು, 2002 ಪ್ರಕಾರ 10% ಇರಬಹುದು to the assets of the bank. ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ಆ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಗೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ರೇಷಿಯೋ ಎಷ್ಟಿರಬೇಕು, ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಕ್ಯುರಸಿ ರೇಷಿಯೋ 8% to 10% ಇರಬೇಕು. 2002 ಪ್ರಕಾರ 10% ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೊದಲು 8% ಇತ್ತು. So they are the important contents of share capital. First one, the banking companies can issue only equity shares. The subscribed capital at least 1.5 of authorized capital, and paid up capital at least 1.5 of subscribed capital. The total capital and reserves should be specified as per the Companies Regulation Act of 1949 section 2. Private banks should have minimum capital of 100 crores. The capital equity ratio 8%. According to the 2002 rules, 10%. Then very important, statutory reserve. 2 marks ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿಮಗೂ ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. According to Banking Regulation Act of 1949 section 17 subsection 1, right? Every banking company, very important meaning, my dears, every banking company incorporated in India must be transfer at least 25% of its annual profits before declaring dividends, my dears. Before declaring dividends to the statutory reserve, such transfer must be made until the reserve along with share premium exceed the paid up capital. Means, simple meaning, my dears, what is meant by statutory reserve? It is a reserve each and every banking company should be transferred at least 25% of its annual profits to the separate reserve. Such a reserve we are treated as statutory reserve. ಶಾಸನಬದ್ಧ ನಿಧಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. ಶಾಸನಬದ್ಧ ನಿಧಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರೋ ಲಾಭಾಂಶದಲ್ಲಿ 25% ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಒಂದು ನಿಧಿಗೆ. ಆ ನಿಧಿಯನ್ನ ಶಾಸನಬದ್ಧ ನಿಧಿ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತೀವಿ. Statutory reserve is a reserve. Each and every banking company in India should be transfer its annual profit of 25% before declaring the dividends. Before declaring the dividends to the shareholders as a reserve. Such a reserve we are treated as statutory reserve. Such a reserve we are treated as statutory reserve, and it exceed the paid up capital. ಇದು ಯಾವುದು paid up capital ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬಾರದು ಅಂತ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. That is statutory reserve. Very very important and practical aspect ಮಾಡಿರಿ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು 25% ನಾವು ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟ್ಯೂಟರಿ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ. 25% ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟ್ಯೂಟರಿ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ನ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಫರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Then statutory liquid ratio. Statutory liquid ratio. Section 24 of Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Every banking company must invest 25% of its time and demand liabilities. Time deposits and demand deposits. ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ ಠೇವಣಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಚಾಲ್ತಿ ಠೇವಣಿಗಳು ಅಂತ. The liabilities in gold and securities. Very important. Gold and securities. The percentage can be increased up to 40% by RBI. This requirement is provided under Section 24 of Banking Regulation Act of 1949. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತೆಗೆದು ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ ರೀ ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇನ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲೇನ್ ಬೇಡ ಬರೀ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ. Every banking company must be invest 25% of its time and demand deposits, demand liabilities in gold and securities. The percentage can be increased up to 40% by RBI. This requirement is provided under Section 24 of Banking Regulation Act of 1949. According to the Banking Regulation Act of 1949, Section 24, each and every bank in India should be invest its demand and current liabilities. Time means fixed and demand current. Fixed time means fixed liabilities. Invest on gold and securities. Invest on gold and securities. ಯಾವುದೇ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಗಳಾಗಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ ಠೇವಣಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಚಾಲ್ತಿ ಠೇವಣಿಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದಿರತಕ್ಕಂತ ಒಂದು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 25% ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ನಾವೇನು ಗೋಲ್ಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟೀಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. 25% ಇಂದ 40% ವರೆಗೂ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅಪ್ ಟು 40%, 25% to up to 40% they can invest it on gold and securities. That is the rule according to the Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Every banking company must invest minimum 25% of its time and demand liabilities in gold and securities. The percentage can be increased up to 40% by RBI, Reserve Bank of India. This requirement is provided under Section 24 of Banking Regulation Act of 1949. Next, assets in India. Assets in India, my dears. Assets in India. In assets in India, Section 25. According to Section 25, ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? Every banking company in India must have assets in India equivalent to at least 75% of its time and demand liabilities. My dears, ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ, ಆ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 75% ಆಗುವಷ್ಟು ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ನ 75% ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಬರುವಷ್ಟು ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ನ ನಾವು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ಲೇಬೇಕಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಈಕ್ವಲಿಂಗ್ ಟು at least 75% of its time and demand liabilities. The close of business on the last Friday of every year. ಇದನ್ನು ಕ್ಲೋಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಯಾವತ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೈಡೆ ಆಫ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್. ಸೊ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ರೈಡೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಒನ್ಸ್ ಅಗೇನ್, ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಎವ್ರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇರಲೇಬೇಕು ಎಷ್ಟು assets in India equaling to at least 75% of its time and demand deposits or demand liabilities. Time ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ ಠೇವಣಿಗಳು, ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ಸ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಯಾವುದು, ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಡೆಪಾಸಿಟ್ಸ್. ಎಷ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೋ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 75% ಆಗುವಷ್ಟು ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳಗೊಂಡಿರಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದೇ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಆಗಲಿ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್. Then investments in shares and debentures under Section 19 Banking Regulation Act of 1949. So 1949 Banking Regulation Act of 1949 under Section 19 prakara, the banking company shall hold shares and debentures of another company more than 30% of paid up capital of concerned company or own paid up capital. ನೋಡಿ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ರೂಲ್ ಇದೆ. Section 19 of the banking company shall hold shares and debentures of another company more than 30% of the paid up capital of concerned company or own paid up capital. ಈ ಕಂಪನಿದಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಕಂಪನಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದೀವಿ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿದಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಮೋರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ 30% ಆಫ್ ಪೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಆಗೋಷ್ಟು ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಬೆಂಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1949 ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 19, the banking company shall hold shares and debentures of another company more than 30% of the paid up capital of concerned company or own paid up capital. ಓನ್ ಆ ಕಂಪನಿಯ 30% ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಂಪನಿಯ ಪೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ 30% ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ದೆನ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲರೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೇಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಡಿವಿಡೆಂಡ್. ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 15, no banking company can declare and payment of dividends until all capitalized expenses have been completely written off, such as preliminary expenses, brokerage, indemnity, commission, etc. ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ನೋ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮಿನರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಬ್ರೋಕರೇಜ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಇಂಡೆಮ್ನಿಟಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಇವನ್ನ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋವರೆಗೂ ಯಾವುದೇ ಡಿವಿಡೆಂಡ್ ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇಕ್ವಿಟಿ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿವಿಡೆಂಡ್ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅಂಟಿಲ್ ಡಿಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆರ್ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮಿನರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಬ್ರೋಕರೇಜ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಇಂಡೆಮ್ನಿಟಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಕಮಿಷನ್. So no banking company can declare payment of dividend. So ಇವುಗಳನ್ನ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋವರೆಗೂ ಯಾವುದೇ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಡಿವಿಡೆಂಡ್ ನ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡೋ ರೈಟ್ಸ್ ಇರೋಲ್ಲ. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವುದು? ಪ್ರಿಲಿಮಿನರಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಬ್ರೋಕರೇಜ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್, ಇಂಡೆಮ್ನಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್. ಸೊ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಸೊ ಶೇರ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಡಿವಿಡೆಂಡ್ ನ ಡಿಕ್ಲೇರ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ಸ್, ಅನ್ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್. ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ 14 ಆಫ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ 1949, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಕಂಪನಿ cannot create any charge on unpaid capital. ಅನ್ಪೇಯ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಂಗೆ ಇರೋಲ್ಲ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ? ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Then restrictions on loans and advances. My dears, according to the section 20 of Banking Regulation Act of 1949 ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, it cannot grant loans and advances on the security of its own shares. Very important, my dears, very important. First point, my dears, actually this is the first point. It cannot grant loans and advances on the security of its own shares. ಆ ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ನ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, ಆನ್ ದ ಬೇಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಓನ್ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಯಾವ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್, it cannot enter into any commitment for granting loans or advances on behalf of following persons. ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್? ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಆ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿನ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾವುದು ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಎನಿ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್, ಆ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಆಗೋಂಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೇನು ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು. ಎನಿ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ whom ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಆರ್ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟರ್, ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಯ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ನಂಬ್ಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟ್ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಓನ್ ಶೇರ್ಸ್, ಅವರ ಶೇರ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಎಂಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಟು ಎನಿ ಕಮಿಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಆನ್ ಬಿಹಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್. ಯಾರ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್? ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಆ ಕಂಪನಿಯ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಪರವಾಗಿ ಯಾವುದು ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಎನಿ ಫರ್ಮ್ ವಿಚ್ ಎನಿ ಆಫ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್, ಯಾರಾದ್ರೂ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಅವ್ರ ಬೇಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ. ದೆನ್ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಬ್ಬ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಗೆ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರಿಟಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಲೋನ್ಸ್ ನ ಸ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋಂಗಿರಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ಇಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. The next topic I will continue on next class, my dears. I will continue on next class. ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀರಾ, ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದೀವಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಗ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ. ಒನ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಗ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡವಾ? ಓಕೆ, ಗ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಡ. Wait a minute, my dears. My dears, bank is the first. Bank meaning, bank is the financial institution. Second one is, what is meant by banking company, my dears? What is meant by banking company? Next, definition of banking company, my dears. Definition of banking company. After that, books prepared by banking companies. Under that, 3 books. That is, first one, cash book, primary ledgers, principal ledgers alle cash book. Second one is general ledger, my dears. General ledger. Two books. One is cash book, second one is general ledger. After that, subsidiary books, current account ledger, savings account ledger, fixed account ledger, investment ledger, loan ledger, cash credit ledger, customer acceptance endorsement guarantee ledger, recurring deposit ledger, bills discounted and purchase ledger, receiving and payment cashier account ledger, etc. After that, we have special features of bank accounts. After that, we have important points. Under that, share capital and points relating to share capital, statutory reserve meaning, then statutory liquid ratio. After that, assets in India. After that, investments in shares and debentures, declaration of payment of dividends. The last point is uncalled capital. The last point is restrictions on loans and advances. Restrictions on loans and advances, my dears. So that's it, your banking company theory. So the next topic I will continue in next class. My dear students, please use the mask, face mask, use the sanitizer, maintain the social distance, and fight against COVID-19 coronavirus. Thank you very much.